Hello, hello. Welcome. Good evening. Or should I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to this international webinar. Um, I'm not sure which part of the world you're living and where you're watching this webinar. So I would wish you everybody a nice time with me together today. We're gonna have a look that we're with everybody we need. Okay. Everybody hears me, sees me. If something is wrong, raise your hand. Also, if you have any questions about the topics on the webinar or other topics, feel free to do it in the questions and answers part. If you type in your question, I get a pop-up, I can see it, and I can answer it live with you. If it's a very long question, very technical details, you can always ask it later to one of my colleagues or myself with an email, no problem. I will introduce myself first. As you heard, I'm not a native English speaker. So I'm gonna try my best to explain you all the things in my English. But I'm from the Benelux part of Loxone. More precise from Belgium. We have an office here in Belgium, and that's a part for Benelux for Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. I am a partner coach here at Loxone Benelux for almost 4 years now, I think. I'm especially busy with the partners, with their projects, technical support, also some commercial for MDU projects, a little bit for audio. I do a lot of things. I have a few other colleagues that also do the same thing or nearly the same thing. So welcome to this webinar. It's about mainly the topic is energy. You probably saw, or maybe you saw the energy release from yesterday. We had a big release with a new config with a lot of new functionalities, especially for energy topics. The next 2 weeks, we're going to release other things. There's some very nice products that are coming out. You can see the teasers on the website. So it's going to be a nice month with a lot of new features. And that's something we always do at Loxone. We bring out new features for all our clients, customers, users for free. So the updates from the config with new functionalities, it's free. It's something we've always done. That makes Loxone future-proof. So we got a mini server. You probably saw. I'll take the demo case again. You probably saw here my demo case with a mini server in it. Now that mini server, that's the heart and brain of our system. We have a generation 1 version. It's almost 13 years old now. After 13 years old, you can put in the latest new update and get all the new functionalities. That's rather special. So we can actually give you on a table 13-year already future-proof with our products. So that's a very nice feature. Okay, so what is the meaning of this webinar? We're going to talk a little about who is Loxone, what are we doing, what can we do for you to make everybody better, and that's the most important thing. So I'm going to walk you through some details and some history about Loxone. We're going to talk about some products, how we see a smart home, and then eventually we're going to talk about some energy topics, also some climate, and we're going to do some config with the demo case also, so you can see how everything works and how easy it is to program a smart home in our vision. So that's the most important thing, that you get a better vision about who is Loxone. So I think the most of you are here maybe because they are interested in becoming a partner, maybe. Maybe some people are in here that are looking for a home. So we got a little bit of everything probably. And also I see a lot of nationalities. That's always nice to see. Mainly, I don't really do international webinars, so it's nice to see other countries too. Okay, I'm gonna take my slides with me so I can walk you through. So don't forget, if you have questions in the questions and answers, and I will reply to you, do it live. Okay, so we had that. That's our agenda. As I told, what is Loxone, energy management, climate control, and some project planning with some config. And then there is room for questions also, of course, afterwards. You have to keep in mind we're gonna be busy like an hour, maybe a little longer, something like that. That's the main plan. Probably we'll skip off the main plan as usual, so no problem. I also have a question now. When and where will the next hands-on training be? Well, that's a little difficult. I don't know where you are from. I think a Scandinavian country. Um, the best is that you contact the international department. Probably they're in Vienna, and they can tell you when the next hands-on trainings are. There are mostly possibilities to do it in different countries, maybe, but I'm not really sure about it. So best is you contact the international department in Vienna and ask them. They'll know when the next trainings will be. Okay. So the project planning, that's the finishing, the closing of the webinar with some questions and hands-on. Next thing, who is Loxone? What do we try to do? What do we want to do? We have a mission. So you can see here we improve and simplify the way we work and live through the smartest home and automation solutions. That's an important slogan of us because the automation in it. You see, automation is very important. We don't see ourselves as a domotic systems with relays and you can control something, or with apps you can control a smart home. No, we want to automate. For us, it's important that you come in a home or a building that's automated in a room, and you get what you need. You get your lighting, your climate control, your shading, other functions. It has to be automated first. That's always the first thing we think about. How can we automate it to make the life easier for everybody? Later on, I'll tell you what the next steps are, important also, but the most important thing is the automation part. And so the mini server is the heart of the system, as you saw in my demo case. It belongs in every installation. Later, I will tell you what's already in it, and with that small box, how much you get out of it already. So that's our slogan. How is Loxone set up? It's a private company, still in private hands. Our two main thinkers of Loxone, Thomas and Martin, they thought about the solution more than 13 years ago. Probably they were busy behind the screens already sooner. But they always had a problem, and they saw with installers and with homes, and they make some kind of solution, but somebody has to make it. It's always something different. It's custom-made installations. You can't give any warranty that is going to work. Clients complain afterwards they didn't get what they asked, or they saw it differently. So they had something in their mind, and they said we can do it better. We have to make a standard. And that's also an important word within Loxone. We have a Loxone standard. That means for us, every home, every building is the same standard. There's no difference. There are more rooms with types, but we have a definition, a Loxone standard. You put it in, and the basics of a smart project is already in there. So in that way, because it's all the same, you can give a warranty on it that it's going to work. As we say, it will work. And it makes the life easier for everybody. You'll see it with controls as also a part of our Loxone standard. So it's founded in 2009. We have 21 locations at the moment all over the world. Here in the Benelux office. We have all over Europe. It's in Spain. We have in France. We have Austria, of course. There is the foundation, Austria. But also in the US, in China. So it's expanding. Other than that, we're also available in more than 100 countries. Those are export countries. So it's a lot of those projects are being done by our international department in Vienna. So we're almost everywhere available in the world. If there's somebody asking for a project, we can do it, no problem. So that's maybe you're here also probably in some countries where there is no Loxone, the other company, like here in the Benelux or in France or in Austria or Switzerland. So you can, as a question asked previous with the trainings, you can ask the international department for possibilities. And I'm pretty sure a lot of things that you ask will be possible. So we have more than 500 employees, Loxonauts, they call it, like me. Loxonauts, more than 80% is an export because it starts in Austria, but we export all over the world. We have almost 20,000 Loxone partners worldwide. Those are the people that are doing the installations for us. They do the sales to the customers, end customers, or to the developers, for instance. They're for us the most important people. Also, they can make everything happen. Without Loxone partners, there is no Loxone, because we only work with our partners. It's very important for us also to support them. And that's why I am a partner coach, why we have those partner coaches. We really want to help our partners to make better projects, to make happier customers, to make life easier for everybody. That's the goal. So that's why we are here. We have more than 200,000 smart projects made worldwide. And then I'm talking about real smart projects and automated projects. That's important in that number. Also, Loxone, because it's a private company, we've been called out as a unicorn in the company world. It's a unique thing, actually. You don't see it much, especially not in our sector. They have I think more than 1 billion revenue. It's privately owned. It's not on stock markets and stuff like that. So it's a unicorn in that way. Also, it's nice. So I already said privately owned, the complete building automation system solution. Our Loxone standard is complete. We have everything we need to put in a smart project, a building or a house. Doesn't matter. We have everything in house to make that happen. We also have the high quality standards for our hardware. It's made in the EU, so it's hands-on made and developed by ourselves. And that way we can shift very easily with components, and if things need to be developed, it can go very fast because we do it all ourselves, and we have a lot of people, more than 500 people, employees, so we can ship very fast. As you can see, I already said Loxone is growing. We're international. We had our base camp in Kollerschlag in Austria. It's a small village. You drive through 2-3 minutes. You haven't seen anything except you have seen Loxone, of course. But we're planting something new there behind our existing base camp. It's this one here. We are putting a campus behind, and that campus it's needed because we have always place needed for trainings, accommodation. If we have to go there for a training ourselves as Loxonauts, we have to go in other hotels, and so they said we need to expand. We're fast growing. We're biggest smart home solution worldwide. We need to do something. If you want to grow, you need to expand. So in this case, we started the campus. There's going to be a hotel with 80 hotel rooms, seminar rooms. There's even a wellness area. There's going to be a restaurant from a chain, and also the auditorium where 600 people can accommodate. It's also fun for parties. And underneath the mountain or the slope, don't know how you really say it in English. There's a logistics center for stockage and everything from our components. So this project will be finished next year, somewhere in April, May, I think. In December, they will move to the offices already. I was there a few weeks ago, so it's in finishing progress. So it's a big investment, but it's a lot of work possibilities for other people in the villages and other stuff. So it's an opportunity we took, and it's also to say we are moving forward. We are not stopping. We're not looking behind. We have the only and the best smart home solution on the world. So why would we look back if we have to decide, we're going nowhere. We're going further only. We're not stopping. So that's also why we're doing this. As you can see, the nice the hotel entrance, hotel rooms 82. The auditorium, as you can see, is a very large, 30 by 20 meters, I believe, high ceiling. So it will be a nice project. Other than that, Loxone is not only smart homes. You see here smart homes beneath me. We've always done smart homes. It's our thing. We started with it. For us, it's tech. It works. We have the know-how. It gets updated every time. Like yesterday, you get new functionalities. But we know what the smart home is and what it needs to be. But since years already, we're busy in bigger projects and other projects, specials or commercial projects. Hospitality. We had a hospitality release this year with some very nice products like the Mini Server Compact, the Touch Flex. So we have a solution for those bigger projects like apartment buildings with maybe 100 apartments. Or commercial projects where different smart homes need to communicate with each other. Like this is Tesla, for instance. It's something they're putting together there with all of grids homes, and they all communicate with each other. And special applications also, we do everything. We have in the Benelux here someone who does churches. I saw him a few days ago with his nice projects. I have a question. Do you know if Loxone has been used in ships? Yes, I know. It has been used in ships. We have a partner in Belgium here. He does know a few companies where he already put Loxone in. I know about one smaller yacht, not like cruise ship, but smaller yacht, and he has Lutron, I think, in it, something very visual, and they throw everything out and put in Loxone. So it's also perfectly possible. There is maybe one thing that you can have not really troubles with, but with the shading. If you want to automate your shading, we have a function where it's geologically where your mini server is, your windows, or the west, east orientated like that. So in a ship it moves. It will be something special to work around that. But I don't think on a ship it's really a big topic then. But it can perfectly be on ships. We're also in contact with other companies that do yachts and stuff. So no problem. We're fit for everything, actually. So that's a little bit like a special application, chips, stuff like that. We have some other things, yeah, like this is a smart home. That's the thing we started with the smart homes. So you can go from a small project, a small apartment with basic components in it. Later, I'll let you show what basic means in our vision. But you can go full blown, full option. We have our showrooms in all our other companies where people can come and watch the full option car like you drive with a dealer. So it's important to know all the aspects, but it's not always necessary. But you have nice projects like this. Also, multi-dwelling units, MDU units. That's the thing we're busy with a few years now. Because not only those smart homes, but all those projects with apartments, they need a solution too. Why do they need a solution? They're getting told by the government to reduce the CO2, other costs, energy. You can't just make projects like that with nothing in it that's going to help a little bit for that energy or environment. So this project here in Belgium, it's 10 kilometers from our office here. So it's 71 apartments, and all those apartments have their own mini server, and they are all connected to each other with intercommunication and also programmation. I will talk later. We have a function since a few months in it. It's called the multiplicator. So it means you make a program for all those apartments or apartment types. There they have three: 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. They make a programmation for 3 bedrooms. They send it to all those 71, actually 74 mini servers, because 3 for the buildings also. They send it to all the mini servers. It's programmed, and then afterwards they just check out the rooms. And they can program all that project, a basic auto configuration in like a few minutes, for instance. So also the climate control, all access control, it's all regulated by the mini servers. And there, like I said, 3 mini servers in each building for the entrance parts and other main parts from the building itself, like the weather service, weather station. There's also in there. So they all communicate those informations to the individual mini servers. So no project too big for us. We can do everything. Client gateway, you can do in different ways. Also, you can do tree intercommunication tree. You can do network intercommunication. You can do it in very many variants. I think is the best word. And also, we have a solution to communicate with other buildings. If you have a project like this and you have other projects and you would let them communicate with each other, we have a thing that's called trust. With trust, you can communicate to another server wherever in the world. You just need to make the trust on the trust mini server. You can add other mini servers to your trust and you can do what you want. So with all those functions, we got everything for a big project. Even bigger like this, the airport in Zurich, it's also access with mini servers, all in client gateway, like I said. Those are very nice projects, and everybody will think it's very difficult, but actually it's not that hard. There will always be functions that are maybe difficult, but in the end, it's always the same. Like I said, you come in the rooms, they're all the same. It's a Loxone standard, so there's nothing difficult about it. Special projects for other things like restaurants. You see here a sushi restaurant. I do everything there: the lighting, security, the HVAC. So it's totally automated. Persons that work there, they don't have to do anything. It saves them a lot of money for energy. The lights only. It saves a lot of energy. So I think that's very important for projects like this. I've heard from people that have restaurants, especially now with energy prices rising. Some of them had to stop with running the restaurant because they just can't pay the energy bill anymore. So I think it's important that we finally start to realize that it's something we have to do with all those energy topics and climate and stuff like that. Another funny project we had here in the Benelux, it's in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. All the street lights are regulated there by mini servers. That's not a smart home or smart project, but it's fun to see that's possible also. They came to us. Why? Because it was a very cheap solution for them, and they have the possibility to expand it and do with it what they want. Other things they thought about doing this, it was a different story. And so yeah, they came to us and they asked, and everything now in Amsterdam lights is being controlled by mini servers. Nice. Why Loxone? That's the question you will ask yourself. What other people ask yourself? Well, we are different. We are not domotics. I don't know in your language. You know what domotics is. It's like a relays in a cabinet. You can shift your lights with a lot of buttons, with apps maybe. And then you come to the story like how did it evaluation go with smart homes? We have something some decades ago. We had a button. The light goes on off. That's level 0. That's not automation. It's not a smart home, not automatics. But the next thing that came on the market, that was the smart home version 1. So that's what I mean with domotics. We're not domotics. Also, we make smart homes. That was at that time maybe like 2, 3, 4 decades ago. You could put it in your home, and they said here are a lot of buttons. You can control everything. It's easy. They said, but actually it's the other way around. It's not easy because you have all those extra functions, but you have to manage them all. You have to think about if you are in front of a button like this, what do I have to press? And if you have to think about something in your home, it's not a smart home. There's nothing smart about it. So that was level 1. It's not a solution. If that was a solution, uh, it's already there for almost 4 decades. If you ask 10 people that are building a new house, do you want that in your home? Only a few people will say, yeah, maybe. But if it was a solution, everybody had it now. So it's not a solution. That's the main important thing. You get these things. It's unbelievable. You get stuff for your climate control, your ventilation measurement. You get a lot of screens, all those buttons with some stickers on it. It's pretty nice. Don't think so. You paid for a nice button, but you have to put a sticker on it. So we're not gonna do it like that. The next thing that came on the market, that was a version 2, smart home. And then you had the Internet of Things exploding. Also, Alexa, speech control. You get all those companies that make standalone solutions for the climate, for your sun shading, alarm systems, lighting. And they all say, here are all the hardware, put it in, start it up, you get your app and you can control everything and you have the best smart home in the world. Not. Again, if you have to take your smartphone, search for the app to control something or to change something, it's again not smart, in my opinion. So for us, we are the next step in that story, and that's the future of automation. So we automate. We also have other functions like speech. You can do Apple HomeKit. But for us, it's an extra. It's a nice to have feature. But it can be that you walk into a room and you have to shout to it to make the lighting go on. That's not our main goal. It will be there, the light, if you go inside. How? I will show you in a few minutes. About the controls. I say automation, hey, everything works itself. You don't have to do anything, but a button is also needed. Also in a smart home, you need to be in control. You need to be the boss of your building or your home. But not in the way as we saw earlier with all those different buttons. We have a push button standard. Dus, so we have the Loxone standard, and every room in that building or home has the same button with the same functionalities. You can explain this to somebody in 1 minute and you know how all the building works. On the left side, you have the shading up and down. Right side, you have the audio controls. You can go volume up, volume down, next source, and underneath you press double and you continue to stop the audio. But the most important button is in the middle. That's the lighting. First, you come in the room, you get your lights. It will work because of sensors. I already said earlier that we want to automate, so we need sensors. But if you say it's not okay, you can press the button once, you get another lighting scene. Press again, you go to the next scene. So there you're going, scrolling through the scenes. You press double tap, you stop all the room. Triple tap, you go in night mode if you're in the bedroom, or if you're in entrance, you go in the building off, how you call it in English, not present. So then you go and the alarm goes on, everything from the lights goes out like that actually. So our touch standard is very important in our story. We have a few variations. We have the normal touches. It's this one. It's a plastic variant of the standard. You can nicely combine them with the Gira. How you call in English? I don't know. But it's okay. The surroundings. Yeah, you can combine with power plugs also then. We have the touch pure with the glass plate. It's more a design element. We have a touch and grill and touch and nightlight for in the kitchen, for in the bedroom. We have a remote, and then we also have a touch surface. It's also nice. You can build in kitchen tablets, furniture like a desk, in the wall, in a sauna. You can do everything with it as long as it's not thicker than 3 centimeters. And the next one, the last one we brought out is our Touch Flex. It's from the hospitality release, and that's especially made for all those MDU projects or special projects where there are needs to still have easy controls without your app or a screen for customers in a hotel room, for instance. So you can define this at your own way. You can make it custom with different icons on it, how you like it, the screen, the display here can display what you want. So it was needed in our story for the bigger projects, MDUs, hospitality, like a restaurant. Also, it can be a very easy button then. So it's still possibility to make it your own. But the main controls is our touch, Loxone standard touch. That's the main part. The easiest also. So our recommendations, as I already said, first automation, very important, then control with our touch standard. Then we have the must-haves. Can be everything like extras, it's sensors, very important in our story because without sensors, you don't have a smart home. You walk in the room and nothing happens. So the smart home needs to know what is happening. So we need to have in every room a sensor. It's for the lighting, but not only for that, also for the shading, for your climate control, for safety functions, assisted living. So they're all plus functions connected to our sensor. The sensor is like a car. If you buy it without wheels, a car doesn't work. So in our view, our solution doesn't work without sensors. So it's a must-have. I have a question. Do you have products in stock, or the products must be manufactured in every order? If so, how long does it to manufacture them? We have products in stock, of course. That's why we're building the campus. It's going to be filled up, of course. We always have stock from the most important things. And other than that, mostly it's delivered in 2 or 3 working days if it's in stock. As you know, probably with COVID-19, there was a little bit of crisis with chips. We haven't had that many problems with it because we can scale it in our own way. We can, like I told earlier, we can develop or redevelop products very fast. So we countered it a little bit. But the most of the parts are always in stock. You can order them 2, 3 working days, no problem. No, it's fine. So that's not a problem. There are 10,000 subcomponents going out every month. So there is no problem with that part. Okay, we go further. So the must-have, the sensors, they can be like a window and door contact in your windows for the climate. Is there a window open? Yes or no? How hot is it there? Or what is there somebody? What does the climate control need to do? So that's also important. Then you have the app and the display. We have an app. It runs on iOS, Android, but also a Windows app, Linux. We don't have an own screen, so do your thing with it. We don't really need a screen against the wall because everything is automated, and if you need to change something, you can take your app on your smartphone or a tablet. Okay, so the must-haves, as I told, we talked about the touch or Loxone Touch. There is a temperature sensor in there, so that's also a must-have for the climate. A presence sensor, as I told, in every room. We have the door and window contacts, and we can add extras if you want, of course. But those 3 make the good base of a Loxone smart home. If you can put in all those things, the Loxone Touch standard for easy control and climate and safety functions, because the temperature sensor can also detect 50 degrees in a living room. It's not right. Something is wrong. It will give a notification in the app. Standard. So the presence sensor, door window contact, if you put it in, you have a good basic installation with more than 60 functionalities. About the hardware, we move a little bit to this topic because I think it's also interesting. I have a question. Do you have a shut-off valve for the water intake in case of a water leak? We, in our own product range, we don't have a valve like that. But there is a solution. We already have it for years. I even wrote myself a blog about it with a small programmation. You just take a relay, you put any valve after your water meter that can be controlled with the relay, and you have the solution. We have the fire and water alarm in our auto configuration. You just connect it, the relay to it. If the alarm goes off, there's water, it will close. Any valve can be 230 volts or 24 volts. It doesn't matter. With the relay, you can do everything. So we don't have it in our own product range. Why not? Because yeah, it's so international. Maybe we have to make a lot of different valves. It's almost impossible to make products like that. Other manufacturers already have hundreds of different. So why would we make it? It's different. Maybe someday in the future, who knows? You never know at Loxone. But we have the solution, no problem. You just connect it with the relay and it works. All fine. Also, especially in a basement. I have a basement. I've had it flooded a few times. It's not funny. So if you can detect and something closes, would have been better. So now I have a water sensor in my basement, but nothing ever happens anymore. So it's typical. So I hope that answers your question. So the mini server, the heart, the brain of our system, it has a lot of functionalities on board. We have connections, of course, a LAN connection because we need to be on the network to go outside to your app or programmation from outside, stuff like that, updates. We have the SD card where all the programmation is on, digital inputs. We have 8 digital inputs, 4 analog inputs. The 4 analog inputs you can change in the software to digital, so you get actually 12 digital inputs. They can be easy for window and door contacts that have to be cabled, like in a new home. There's a design issue and they want contacts built in the windows, so we can use those for triggering the alarm or other functionalities. Another question, at the wireless connection level, does Loxone integrate with Zigbee or Z-Wave? No, we cannot natively integrate products from Zigbee or Z-Wave. It's around the same bandwidth. It's 868 megahertz, our own air signal. So it's a little bit like the same, I think. But you can't connect those straight away. Why not? It's very difficult for us as a manufacturer to go and give warranties on other products from other manufacturers where we don't have a cooperation with. So it's very difficult. So there are other possibilities. We have our own air products. That's the best solution. But yeah, in this phase we cannot do things like this if there's no cooperation. It's hard part then. We could do it, but it's just not possible. If you do more than 200,000 projects, and you need to give a warranty on some project. A client who needs to have a warranty. You as a installation partner, you want a warranty that is going to work if you install it like that. So that's something we like to give on our products, our story, our corporations. We can give 100% warranty. It's going to work. Another question, does a mini server identify as level 3 of smart home automation using a rank, or you specify that single just to explain the product? Oh, no, okay. We are the evolution of smart home, the future of automation. So we are not level 0, 1 or 2. No, we don't do it like that. It's just an example to show you what we are doing, and we are doing it differently. Especially with all the push buttons and the extra controls like voice control. It's not our main story. We want to automate first. So I hope you understand a little bit like that. Okay. Let me see another question. Do you have different in output sizes of hardware prices? Yeah, we have a lot of extensions. You can see them all on the web shop. If you go to a Loxone website, buy Loxone, you can see the web shop with the prices. Those prices are the standard prices all over the world, the same without VAT, just to show you the basic price of those components. We have different sizes products. We have products like a standard relay extension with 14 relays. We have decentral Nano 2 relays. We have even Nano IO Air where our relays in it. We have dimmers, standard size, smaller size, RGW, pulse width modulation dimmers. So there's a lot of in our hardware that you can use and make the best project for your own. But you can see on the website, the web shop, you can see all the products and their prices with the detailed information also. Okay, that's it for the questions. So the digital analog inputs, we have beneath the relays, 8 relays from 10 amperes, 10 amps. So you can connect also already 8 light circuits, for instance. We have our 24-volt power for the mini server. Mainly all of our products are 24-volt DC. Why is it? Especially because it's very stable, and for our own lighting, it's also perfectly dimmable without flickering. We have the link. That's for connecting in-out extensions or other gateways like Modbus, RS485, stuff like that. We have our tree. It's for the periphery in the rooms itself for like touches, sensors, our tree lighting, and this tree branch can already accommodate 53 products. So you can already do a lot of things with one mini server. It's also a Modbus server, the mini server. So Modbus TCP IP can straightly connect things through the network. So that's something extra you get. It's also HomeKit compatible. We're, I think, the only smart home manufacturer worldwide that is Apple certified for our mini server, HomeKit, and also for our audio server, Apple AirPlay is also certified. So that's the mini server. Another question: how do the analog inputs get changed to digital inputs? That's very easy in the config software. I can show you maybe fast because otherwise later maybe I will forget it. Let me take. I'll show you very fast if I can stop the share. Where is my config? Okay. So this is the config. We have here our digital inputs, as you can see. You can also set it as a frequency counter and stuff. Then you have the analog inputs, and there you can use as a digital input. Here, click it, it's fine, like that. Save it in the mini server, and this analog input is a digital input from now on. That's it. That's easy as I don't know. So let me take back my where is it here? So everything if we make stuff like that, we make it easy. Don't have to be difficult like that. So another question. Oh no, I already answered. Perfect. One important thing also, we're not a cloud-based solution. Why is it important? It's for your own safety. It's a smart home. All those stuff that happen in a smart home go outside, maybe to a server. It gets saved there. Leaks on the internet, privacy. We don't want it. We stay away from that. We don't use a server somewhere where we know everything about you. And the other thing is keeping a smart home running without the need of a server somewhere else. Because if a cloud-based system and the server is away or goes down, other part of the world, maybe your smart home doesn't work anymore, or some functionalities don't work. So with us, you pull the plug from the internet, and the mini server and all your installation just keeps on working because it's inside the mini server on the SD card. So that's the cloud free. It's important for our story. And the software is something important also. It's free. That's also a good thing, I think. Also, the updates are free, but it's very powerful. We get a lot of functions in our software. We develop every time we do an update. There are new functionalities. So in combination with our hardware, it's very important. The software that has grown with the years. As you noticed, maybe yesterday with the release also made it more powerful. So we keep on progressing in that story. Also, important thing is to know there are diagnostic functions standard in the software. We know everything about smart home. If your button is taken off the wall, there's going to be a notification. Battery status is going to be a notification. So that's important also for a smart home to know what's going on. Another question. No geofencing automation. Yeah, I know a little bit what you mean, but I think that's more something for the future. You can already do something or workarounds through the network, but it's hard to give again those warranties on something like that that is going to work with somebody else's stuff. So, but could be maybe something for the future. How different users are managed? They're being managed in the user management, of course. So we have a user management. It's been updated a few years ago also. You can do everything with it. You can put people in groups for access control. They can see certain stuff in the app. You can make it like for a child. He can only have in his smartphone his own lighting in his own room, nothing else. So user management can be very, very big. You can make it in detail as you want, no problem. Okay, that were the questions for now. So software. Also, what does it actually mean for you to partner with us if you're interested in becoming a Loxone partner? We have the up-to-date, future-proof. I already told you we are constantly expanding the evolution. And we have the complete solution with all the hardware and the software put together. We have a solution for everything. If you're interested in becoming a partner, go on the website. You can click somewhere in the banner, become a Loxone partner. You can fill in all the details and somebody will call you with information about it. Don't hesitate. There's no special things you need to do for it. You can get the information and we can chat about it. No problem. The other technologies that we use to make a smart home, already told you we have a wireless solution. It's called Air. We have the tree solution. It's a wired solution. It's for the components in the rooms in the building. And we have the link. It's to connect all the extensions or expansions like gateways to other things that could be needed for a project. Air is important. It's a wireless signal. It needs to have a good signal. So therefore, we have a lot of products to make the signal the best. So your battery lifespan is the best also. We have an airbase with the antenna. We also have a tree-to-air bridge. You can go from a tree component to an air bridge to form an airbase there, a small airbase then. You have all the components that are air, but also have a fixed power supply. They can act as a repeater. They will form a mesh network so they can hop on each other. You can also see in the software how the hops are and which part and what signals you get. And that's also important to keep the signal level high. So like this, the Loxone mesh works. They will expand the network. Tree is cabled. We have a lot of tree components in our product line. We also our own lighting, the touches, NFC controls for access control, and a lot of other things you have to watch out in the Loxone web shop for the products we have there. If you have any questions about certain products, just ask me, no problem. How does it get cabled in a house? You can see here, that's our story. We have a mini server with probably a three extension or maybe only the mini server with the 3 branch. And we put every lighting and touches and sensors on our 3 cabling. So you can see there are a few 3 cables here. That's all that comes in the cabinet. You have some power supplies for the lighting. It's 24-volt DC, and for the rest, you don't have much extensions, or you don't need much room. That's less cost. It's less programmation work, less installation work, less heat in the cabinet, and much more functionalities. That's also important. So one cable for all devices, and there's a lot of less cabling needed for a solution like this. Any plans to integrate NFC from smartphones? That's a question. Momentarily, there is it's something we are watching, like from behind the sideline. It used to work with certain phones, and actually it's also a chip. We can also use other NFC chips from other brands if they have the same MIFARE details. It will work, but for a smartphone, I believe there was somebody said somewhere in the world there was a security leak and it's not safe. So I think that therefore we are standing behind the sidelines and watching what it's going to be, because we can do it probably, no problem, but is it safe? And if it's not 100% safe for us, probably we will say we're not going to do it for now. But in our product range or software, it could be possible. But at the moment, it's not possible. You can try it out, but I can't guarantee that it's going to work. Another question, user-specific automations. Example, if I enter my code into the system, it will turn off my office light. If my wife enters her code, it will turn music and lights in her office. Of course, that's the standard thing you can make with the NFC. You can make everything. You can make 9,999 combinations of functions if you like. Just make the function and link it to the user, and ready. You can do it. So, like you say, if you come in the room and she uses her button, your wife, she gets her music, her lights. You can turn it around. So you can make a lot of things like that. No problem. The NFC code touch is a very powerful device. I've noticed in my own home. So okay, moving on a little bit. The Loxone 3. I hope that's in a short way to explain you how it looks and how it's being cabled. The link is for the extensions, as I told you. So I will show you my. Oh no, I did wrong. Where is the PowerPoint? I have the demo case. So you can see the extensions. They're all connected with the link. It's the blue one, the link. I also have another case here. That's a little bit of a special. I also have this one with some energy readers and stuff. We all have the extensions connected through the link, the blue one. So like that. Okay, moving on. Good. Technologies, we have a lot in our product range. If you need something special for a special product, a big project, there is also the possibility. Like a Modbus, we have DALI for lighting. We even have KNX if you still want to use it. RS485, 232. We have even a Proling extension, internorm for Windows, BACnet IP. I mentioned it's the mini server is a Modbus server. It's also a BACnet IP communication server. You can do BACnet with it too. Other than that, we have a lot of extensions. If you need something that could be useful, we can probably do it. The biggest gateway we have actually is a network, the LAN connection. Why? Through the network, a lot of devices can talk to each other. A lot of smart home devices they all talk through the internet, through the network. So we are a network device, and on our side, we can do everything on the network. If the other product can talk to us, we can do everything with it. The main important thing there is, do you know the information about the manufacturer's product? What do you need to say? Which words, which language do you need to talk? So if you have a good description of that product, you can use the product in a Loxone project. We have a nice thing for it. Since a few months, beginning of the year, we have a Loxone library. You can use it. You can search in it. There are a lot of other manufacturers with products that can talk through the network, through Modbus, RS485, all with templates. So it's very easy to moving the template into the config and realize it in your project. I've been disconnected a few times. Please can we get a video after this? You can ask afterwards. So it's being recorded, so there will be possibilities, no problem. Loxone, yes, I mentioned Loxone earlier. It's mainly used in the US, I believe. It's a domotics system. It's a lot with screens, I believe. I don't really know the system. It's like Crestron. It's also something like that, I believe. Okay, that's the questions. The energy management also important, especially now, last few days and the next upcoming weeks, we're going to do a lot more with energy management. Why? This, if you see how many energy you spend in buildings, in a household or global, you can see here, there's energy consumption 44% in the buildings. So that's almost half of the energy consumption of the world is being used in buildings. For a household, a normal home, a smart home then, what are the most important things that use the most energy? That's the climate control. That's your heating, your aircon, your ventilation. In our story, it's also the shading as climate control, but that's almost or more than 70% usage in your building. If it's not being controlled or regulated in the right way, you're going to lose a lot of energy and you're going to have a lot more costs. Also, the water heating, of course, for washing and stuff like that. Other things that's like the multimedia TVs and stuff like that, lighting, that's included in that. So here you can see more than 25,000 kilowatt hours per year in a four-person household. Like I said, the water heating, you can save a lot with water heating. A lot of installations still in new homes are being built with boilers. They're constantly turning the heat on, off, especially if they're working with an outdoor sensor. It cools down in the evening and it starts working, but the other day it's warm enough again, so it's heated up for nothing. You lose a lot of energy. You can save up to 15%, and that's the 15% you actually use. And then the climate control, as I said, you can save up to 50%. Also the same story like heat pumps, always going on and off, going on and off. It's not working like that. You need to make the heating that it's on, but it goes a little bit higher, a little bit lower, but not constantly on, off, on, off, on, off. It's also not good for the appliances. Plus, you're going to lose a lot of energy if you do it like that. The other electric features, presence control, the LED lights, lighting, you can save a lot of things. And especially our presence sensor is the main part in that story that will save you a lot. He's going to see what is happening in the smart home, in those rooms, what do the rooms need, and he will decide what is going to happen. So the potential savings for a year is more than 40% in some projects. So you can save a lot of euros in our case. If you measure it like this, everything, and you see the cost of a mini server where you can already do the energy management. You almost don't need any other hardware. You can already save more than 1,000 euros a year. So you have the mini server back in no time, and you start saving a lot more. Can I get a recording sent to me? Oh, yeah, you can normally file in a questionnaire after the webinar. You put it in there, and they will make sure you get a recording. Okay. Next, do we have other questions? No. Okay, so the energy management potential savings. Again, you see here the climate control, especially the heating and also the ventilation. I don't know in your country how you work with ventilation. Some of countries have room ventilation differently apart from each other. Here in Belgium, they have a lot of central ventilation units with pipes and in and out. So it's a little bit different in each country or part of the world, but it always comes to the same thing. You, as a user in your home or your project, you don't know how to control it. Somebody has to control it. For a climate control, you also most of the time you have the heating. You have potential maybe cooling air count. You have your shading for your windows, and you have your ventilation. Those four, if they don't work together, it's the boat like this. They go like that, rowing other side. They don't talk to each other. They have to be taken together, one captain on the boat, and it's going to work. So it will combine things like that. So you can see a lot of savings. Also with air conditioning, you don't always have to use it, but in a lot of situations now, you almost always grab to the air conditioning and say, "Oh, put on the air conditioning, it's cooler." But with the shading, you can prevent the air conditioning to be used because, like in the summer, you can it's automatic with the position of the sun. You can move the shading. The mini server will move the shading by its own, so you can cool down and don't let the sun go in. So maybe if you come home at night and in the evening, you don't need the air conditioning because otherwise it's open. The sun comes in and it's 5 degrees hotter in the summer on a summer day. In the winter, it's the other way around. If you're not home, the sun is there on your big window in the south. Yeah, let the shading go up. Let the heat come in, and you don't have to heat that much. So with the climate, you can decrease a lot of energy costs. The PV and energy management, photovoltaic panels, also important these days. Almost everybody needs good PV panels. I don't know how it's in your country, but here in Belgium, it's almost the normal thing that you do. But a lot of people don't know that you have to do something with it because in a few years here, maybe even sooner, here in Belgium we get a capacity rates. That means if you peak powers above a certain line, you will get extra. Yeah, you have to pay extra for those spikes. So if you can make your home beneath the line, you will save a lot of costs. So that's something that's coming here. It's coming everywhere probably because yeah, people it's a problem. People don't know how to cope with it momentarily. So you need something or someone like Loxone that does it for you. And that means you have to have appliances in your home, like those PV panels or your smart washing machine, dishwasher, stuff like that. Your electric car. Somebody has to tell how it has to work, where the power has to go, what is the best way to let power go. Also, with load balancing becomes important, especially with electric cars. If you have an electric car and you plug it in, you start a party in the home, yeah, everything is down. So we have a load manager in our software, so where you can get um, ranks. Who is the first one who can have the most power? Like for your electric car, if you plug it in, the power goes there and the sauna disconnects, stuff like that. So you don't get above a certain amps, so you don't blow the fuse, like they say in English. So also very important, the energy management. For the climate, we have a few things we're going through it, and then we will do config for a few minutes. I have a question. What is the difference between tree and link at the mini server? The difference is, I will show you the camera maybe. I'll stop this share. And I will change the camera. So we here have three components: a sensor, a touch tree, and it's connected to the tree branch, the green one. I don't know if you can see it. It's the green one, and it's made for in the rooms to connect all those appliances or peripheries. The link is the blue one. It's to connect the extensions. Mostly they are in your electrical cabinet. So like a tree extension, an airbase, an RGBW dimmer, or in the other case, where is it? We have other extensions like Modbus, DMX, RS485. We also have here an Ocean, one wire, RS232. So they are all connected also with the blue one through the link. See, the blue one is the link and it goes to the mini server. Is the blue one here. So that's for extensions. And 3 is for periphery in the rooms. I hope maybe that explains a little bit more. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm back. There it. Okay. So it's a different cabling. It's an all different circuit also. Okay, another question. How is the PV energy data from Victron devices connected and displayed to the Loxone user face? Victron, we had testing with it also here in Benelux. I believe it's through Modbus, and otherwise it's a network communication. In our Loxone library, you will see, I'll put in the chat, maybe. Let me see, so you can look at that. Where is it? Okay, option library. That chat. Okay, I put in the chat the link to the Loxone library. If you go there, you can see a lot of other manufacturers from inverters for PV panels or batteries. And they are the most easy ones because we know about them and we have a template for it. I don't think Victron is in it momentarily, but I know it's possible to connect it. But it's because you don't know much information about the manufacturer. You have to search a lot. But there are already a lot of other brands, the bigger brands, in our Loxone library database. So from our part, our side, we can do everything. We can connect everything if the other company, other manufacturer or product can do it, then we can do it also. But how? That's the main difficult part. You have to see how hard is it to get the right information from that manufacturer. Did he write a manual with all those commands, what I need? If it's not clear, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Will that manufacturer support it? Will he update it? Stuff like that, it's important to know. So, okay, another question. Does the owner have rights to do his programming? That's something you have to discuss with the owner itself. We don't have anything to do with it. You get a mini server, you make, for instance, a project, you make yourself as an administrator, you make users, for instance, the client. Then you can choose to say to the client, I am the administrator, I have the right on the program, because if the customer, the client, is going to fiddle in the program and something doesn't work, you come there, you say, oh, I have to change everything. Who is going to pay for that? And that is the question you have to ask yourself. Will you let the client have access to that? It's fine if you tell the client you can have access, no problem, if you know what to do. And if there are problems and I have to come to you to make it, yeah, I'm sorry, but you will have to pay something then, because yeah, it's not your problem then. So that's the part you have to discuss with the client. He doesn't really need administrator rights if he doesn't know anything about the config. But I have been asked a few times from end customers that say, I want those data because I want it to be fully closed off of someone else. It's my privacy. It's perfect. You give him the administrator password, you do it ready, you write a note where he signs that it's his responsibility, and it's perfect, no problem. But it's not something we do or say what you have to do. You have to discuss with the client, with the who owns the project. Okay. And another question: does the air valve work for floor heating also, or is it for radiators? No, perfect for floor heating too, of course. It's a 0 to 100%. It can go in different ways. Also for cooling, you have a lot of um, floor heating that can cool also. So we can do it also like that. It's perfectly made for floor heating. Especially here in the Benelux, we use a lot of new homes still use all floor heating, so it works perfect. It's designed for that, but also for radiators. True, why not? But it's mainly the climate control, like I'm going to show in a minute, that is going to control how the valve has to work. So the valve is actually, it opens and closes, but it's the climate control that's going to do the work. The relays in the mini server, there are potential free relays. So somebody asks, is it 240 volts AC or DC 24? No, it's a potential free contact. So you can put in what you want and comes out what you put in, like on the other side, like a standard relay. So it's potential free. You can do with it what you want. You choose, is it 230 volt lighting, or you have to switch something else, even a 48 volt device, you can switch with it also, no problem. So there's no fixed voltage. Potential free. Okay, that's also the questions now. So for floor heating, you can see here a manifold with the valves for floor heating. Perfect. For a new building, you can do the tree. For a retrofit buildings that are already existence, or renovations, you can use air. We have a mini server, mini server Go, with air built in. So you can also do radiators with an air valve with a battery, and perfect. And you can give it a fixed power supply also if you want. Have another question? Can't see the link in the chat. Okay. Nobody sees the link from the library. But you just type in Google Loxone library, and it will show up. No problem. Loxone library, and you can find everything. Okay. So for heating, climate control, and boilers like this, you can make installation in different stages. You can start with the climate control, intelligent room control, and you say I have the valves, and it will work like that for radiators. And I'm not going to do anything with the heating source. It's possible. Best thing is that you can control the heating source also. Can do it through a relay for a boiler. You can do analog for gas heaters, Modbus network for heat pumps, very different ways. Then you can also use a mixing valve um, controller to control the valve. For instance, you have different manifolds or stages, or first floor, second floor, third floor. You can control those valves, and it starts in the room with the intelligent room controller. Then you have the temperature control for the valves, for instance, if you have a boiler or other stages, like I told you. And then the climate controller is the end boss, is the decision maker. He will see what's happening in all the rooms. He will take everything together from what is being asked where, and he will decide will there be cooling or heating. That is the way it works. Another question, can you see the battery level on all air devices in the app? Of course, you can. That's a part of our diagnostic functions. You can go in the app, you can press the air. You can see here. I don't know if you can see it. We're in the app. I go here. We go to battery air status monitor, and you can see all the air devices. Standard, you get notifications 20%. You need to change the battery also in the app, and you keep doing it until you change it. And if it's gone, you'll get a notification. It's gone offline. Sorry, you have to do something about it. So it's standard. It's like a car. If you drive a car, it's broken down. You get on the dashboard notification, a light. That's what happened. So for a smartphone, we think it's normal, but it's not normal in other smart home worlds or domotics worlds. I know that. I don't think other companies do that standard notifications. So with us, it's automated standard inside. Okay, so that's about the heating. Shading, very important, especially for the climate control, but also for energy. It's something that's the same thing actually. So the shading, as I told you earlier, it will work as where the sun position is. Is there sun? Yes or no? The touch in the room measures the temperature, and it's going to say how hot or cold is it, and then we are going to decide if there is someone in the room, what we're going to do with the shading, up or down. Then you can even do with slats. You can move them a little bit so you keep the sun out, but there's still light in. Also possible. So in the configuration, we can use it like this. Maybe I'll take a config with me for a minute. Let me see. Stop share. Where is my configuration? Config. So we see the config. I have a few blocks here. So you have the automatic shading. You see I already connected to the intelligent room controller. So it's a little bit in a fast way. I'm going to explain to you how the climate control works in a Loxone smart home. So that's the end boss. As I said, the climate controller. He will say is heating or cooling. You can do it with the relay, but you can do it to any sort of language with a Modbus or IP. I don't know what type of heat pump or stuff it's behind. But in there, if you click it, you know a lot of intelligent room controllers you have in a smart home. You have all the different rooms. We now have an example for one room. And it's this one that is being added to this climate controller. If you have more, you add, for instance, another room. I will do just like here. Okay, can do like this. Okay, and now if you click here, you see it's this one from another room. I'm not going to change everything now from names, but like this, you have all the climate controllers talking to this intelligent room controller. Sorry, talking to this climate controller. And then we're going to add an automatic shading block. The shading, it has an input to have the sun position automatically start. This is connected to the room controller. We're in the room, the shading is in that room, and we have here the function where you can say if there is the need for automatic sun. You can see here, shading demand is going to say it's too hot, there is shading demand. Then he will set the automatic shading in action on the shading block. So it depends what temperature. It's too cold or it's too hot in the room. It will say it has to go down, of course. If the room controller says in the winter it's too cold and it sees, oh, there is a lot of sun coming on that window. Yeah, okay, start. And it goes up like that. Then we can also control the room ventilation with the room ventilation controller. You can add it, and you can also add it to this intelligent room controller. So it's also taking in control of the ventilation, not only the shading but the ventilation and the heating. It's one complete story. You can also put it here like you can do heating or cooling. You can only use the ventilation for cooling, for instance. At night is going to do cooling. You can choose everything like that, but it's all linked together like that. This room controller has then like, for instance, a valve, 3-valve, or here's a relay, but you can add 3-valve. I'm going to show you in a moment how you have to program it in the right way. This is just an example how the blocks look. Also for energy, these are the new, I've been fiddling with the new meters for our energy release. You have a lot of meters you can use with a lot of functions. You have a bidirectional meters, meters with storage, energy flow meters. We have that load manager. If you click it, you can put in priorities. That was the word I was looking for earlier. What's the power? Which output does it use? You can use it here. You can lock certain other less prioritized products or appliances. Energy flow monitor. We have an energy manager. We can also manage how the energy has to go, has to flow. Energy monitor. You can see like if you put in your production, your grid energy, the storage from batteries and stuff. You can see it in the app, visualized the PV panels, what they are delivering, what you're going or sending to the grid, what the battery is and how it goes to the appliances. You can easily see what's happening. In the background, Loxone will do its thing, and it will say if there is enough production from your PV panels and your dishwasher, for instance, is ready. You loaded it in, all the dishes are in there, and there is enough production. Your car isn't there. You're going working. There is enough power. Put on the dishwasher, and if you come home at night, There's still a little bit power. You plug in your electric car. It will also take in account what power is available like that. So you can easily save a lot of energy this way. With those new blocks, it's going to be much easier to implement energy management like this. Let me see what I still had to talk about, because maybe now it's best time to show the config a little more. We still have a little bit time maybe. So how do you program a smart home? We have our Loxone standard, as I talked, and we have an auto configuration. Together with the project planning in the config, you can make a smart home, plan it, program it, and make it work in less than 10 minutes. The programming itself takes less than a minute. I'll show you how it works. So we have our config. This is a standard, but I'm just going to go to the project management. We have here our project planning. You have to read it yourself. It's too long to read, but there's some explanation why and how it works a little bit. You fill in the name, international webinar. You have your other credentials. I'm not going to change all of it. You can choose, does it have to display prices, yes or no, and what currency. What mini server do we have? We have a normal mini server in our demo case, so I'm going to choose that one. What do we need for controls, lighting? That's basic. What you think from what is the main thing that's going to go in that smart home? So we choose a touch tree as we have it in our demo case. I'll show, maybe it's better. Put the camera on the demo case. So we have a touch tree white. We have a presence sensor tree white. So you can choose here flush mounted also, but we have the normal one. LED spots, you can choose other lighting also, dimmable outputs, but here in our demo case, we have a LED stripe, but I'm going to show you how you change it, because here we will take LED spots as a standard. Nano 2 relays for shading. You can also choose to have a relays for shading, valve actuators, door window contacts. That's a basic, but if you go further, you now have some rooms already made for you with room types. It's important you choose the right room type here, because otherwise you won't get the right functionality for that room. Also, how big is the room is important, how many doors, internal doors, heating loops. And now you can choose to make every room to have the right components. So here we have a LED spot for lighting, shading. We have a presence detection, controls. Everything is already in the room. We can make another room like my demo case, like this. So we will make a recreational room, make it like 5 square meters. We have one door. The rest I'm not going to put in. We can open it. Our demo case, we did not have a LED spot, but we had our LED stripe with RGBW dimmer. To have a LED stripe, we'll add it. One, we don't have shading. I'm gonna just click this away. So if you don't have it in the room, no audio. Presence detection, yes, we have the presence sensor 3. We have a one touch 3. Access, no. Security, we're gonna do it like this. So we made all our home with all the rooms with the functionalities and the products in it. We go next. He will calculate for you the right needed power supplies for that project. So we need in total 20.40 amps for the lighting, for the audio, especially we need a lot, you can see. And then we finish planning. You can get a part list as a Excel. You can see what you have all in the building or in the house. how much does it cost, which components are in which room. Then you can order, even save the file, and we can create a config file. So this is most important. We create it. I'm not going to save it for now. And it will open the config, and you can see in the background here, it will start making a program. That's mainly the rooms you will make, which components are in the rooms as you chose. And it's now ready. It's untitled, but of course you need to give it a name. And now we have here our rooms. Also my demo case I made. I have a cover page and nothing. I still don't have a programmation. So that's of course needed. So what are we going to do now? And that's our main part that we have to do in a smart home. We have to go and connect all the devices. So first we will close this for a minute. Disconnect. That's my other program. Nope. So first we're gonna look for a mini server. That's my mini server. We will connect. We are connected with a mini server. You can see here it flashes. I know that's that mini server. So if we are on the mini server and we go look for extensions, you will find those extensions here already learned in. So here you can see it already had all the components on the branches in light gray as I made my project planning. So like this. See? Also linked it to the right rooms. As you go search here, you can see he already had all the components to all the rooms. Let me see if I can find the extensions. Why is it not? Okay, well, doesn't matter because I was in the other program. But as you can see, it connected everything like it should be. What you can do now is learning all the devices. That's the most work, or the biggest part. You have to walk around. You can see visually where it is. You can hear a audible click signal from the touch. And if you learn in all the devices, the only thing you have to do is do the auto configuration here. If you do the auto configuration, it will also let you see a disclaimer. You can choose to have all the functions, more than 60 functionalities standard. They're all here. We have an alarm system. We have sensors. You get the alarm system also. I'm going to change my camera again. Maybe nicer. We have a wave functions, central functions, file alarm, leave the house, everything. We go configure, press it, we wait. We have another question. Can I use the touch nightlight as a temperature sensor for heating? No, it has a temperature input. You can use another temperature to put in there and to show the temperature on the touch nightlight, but it's not a temperature sensor of itself. So you can't do it like that. You need a touch of the temperature sensor. Yeah. So configuration. Oh, we're finished. So you saw it's 30 seconds finish, and you can see what we get from programmation. It made all my rooms. We have a central page with a burglar alarm. We have a night mode. We have alarm sequences, away mode. Central 2, we have automatic shading for central, audio central, the heating. He made a climate controller with all the intelligent room controllers, temperature controller. We have our demo case with also all the functionalities in it, presence blocks, and you see every room has all its needed functionalities, all its temperature sensors, buttons, touches, valve actuators, lights, stereo outputs for audio. Everything is already connected for the shading, and every room is finished. The only thing you have to do is save in a mini server, and the programmation is in there, and your smart home will work. It's basic. It's more than 60 functionalities. Your climate will work, your lighting will work, your shading will work, and you can build from there for if you need other specific things, like making the connection with a Modbus controlled heat pump. You will make here on the climate controller, you still create a required logic controls for a heating system. So heating, cooling, something has to go here to that heating pump. So there you can use, for instance, a Modbus template from the library or from the manufacturer with a manual. You can create network devices, like if you go where are we? With virtual in and outputs, you can connect almost everything that can go over the network like that. Sometimes I struggle to find the right words in another language. But like this, your smart home works. So that's the power of our software. You don't have to make everything yourself, or go sit down with the customer and how does it have to work, and like, no, just put it in. It's the auto configuration, Loxone standard. You can give a warranty, it works perfect. We know it for more than almost 13 years from now. So that's a little bit of config. So you have a little better idea about how that works. We go back to our PowerPoint. We had a little bit of this. Let me see if I still have questions. No. Okay. So next thing, ventilation. Already had a little bit about that. So it's heat recovery also. It's not only ventilating, but you can recover a lot of heat, especially with systems that they have often heat recovery, where the heat goes in and then the other air goes through a certain, I don't know how you call it in English. Yeah, it's like a mesh. The air goes through and it recovers the heat. So it's a lot of savings you can do with it. So as you saw, you can connect it with all the intelligent room controllers to make the ventilation even better integrated. For PV management, energy management, as I already said, you can implement all the needed appliances for it. You have your PV, you have your battery or other things like that. You have the net, the grid, and then your appliances, your heat pump, your electric car, washing machines, dishwashers, like that. And there, the mini server will decide what's going to happen with them, and with the load manager, which one will be the first one, or the one that gets the most power. So what are the top reasons? You can optimize it in your own custom way also. You can change everything in the app, also what you want, also with the load manager, you can change. You can monitor, you save a lot of costs by implementing energy management. And here, as you can see, I told you a few times already, the Loxone library. You can find a lot of big brands, also Tesla, Hunter Douglas for shading, Home Connect is Bosch Siemens group for home appliances, also Miele Connect you can add. You have to look into it. You can scroll through it. You will see there's a lot of stuff in it that can be very in handy for a project. I was a little bit ahead, but I think otherwise we would have lost a lot of time. Project planning we did. Also told you, yeah, you need to make a total smart home. You don't only look at the products and the hardware, but you need to present the features. As you saw in the auto config, you get more than 60 features as standard. Nobody has to make those features because making them costs a lot of money. People don't realize, but who will pay the bill in the end? That's the end customer. So if somebody is making programations for a week, somebody has to pay for it. In our story, it's 10 minutes, then you have all the functions. So you can present features. People are willing to pay for more features. So that's how you have to convince people to go for a smart home because you get much more for the same money. And in our story, for less money. So it's very efficient, easy to use. So you saw the touch button. Privacy is important in our story also. This is another example about how you can make a building. You have the switches, valve actuators, presence sensors. You have even a touch nightlight. Speakers, music, audio is also very important. Not only to play music, but also for the alarm system, text-speech notifications for assisted living. Here in the Netherlands, we have a lot of projects with assisted living for elderly people or people that are less have a less mobility. So you can have notifications, but it's so much more than only playing music. The door window contacts, LED stripes, normal lights, you can combine it as you like, of course. These are the features I talked about. As you can see, it's a lot. You have a lot for the lighting, but security, you have the burglar alarm, you have the other functionalities for alarms like the assisted living, central functions, the audio, you can do Spotify tune in, integrated your Spotify account in the app, your own playlist, but also the Apple AirPlay, Spotify Connect is also a possibility. And then all the other functions you get like notifications and stuff. So this is something you get as a standard. If you have our Loxone standards and our basics of a smart home, that's presence sensor in every room, a touch in every room for your easy controls and the climate control and safety features, and every door and window a contact. If you have those three, you have more than 60 functionalities like this. Okay, I think that was about it. I went a little bit over time, but I hope you had a lot of information where you can do something with it and you understand who Loxone is a little bit and what we're doing, especially on the energy level. We have a big solution, a very easy solution also that doesn't have to cost a lot of money. So we've come to the end of this webinar. I don't know if anybody has some other questions, maybe for me. Let me see. I don't think so at the moment. If you have any questions, let me know. You can also email someone from the international department, call them, go to the website, fill in the how to become a partner. You get the information and we see how far we can get. And we want to help make you better projects and easier projects and make your customers happy. That's the most important thing also. Okay, I'm going to finish it up, and now it really is a good night almost. So there is a question. Is there a school kit Do you mean for your own, or do you mean for a real school with students? Because we have a demo case, of course, that's for your own to school. Actually, you can buy the demo case for with a discount as a partner, and you can use it to test and school yourself. But we also do a real school, I see. Yeah, we do schools also. We have a special arrangement to have testing materials for a school to make didactical, I don't know is in English, to make a learning process for the students. There's uh, special promotions or actions, or but you have to contact uh, either your country where we are, or otherwise the international department, because we have something for that. We do it in the Benelux here also. We have a few schools here that use Loxone in their classrooms to teach smart homes. Perfect. Yeah, can be possible. Okay. Maybe another thank you thing is thank you for watching. I want to thank everybody to take your time to watch. It pleases me that there were so many here, and that I had a lot of questions. Is also it's a good thing. I like interaction. So perfect. Okay, everybody is about leaving, so I will finish this off. Thank you very much again. Maybe see you someday, or hear you someday somewhere. Who knows? And have a very good evening. Bye bye.